Hi there, welcome. I'm Sue Parker, and today we're talking all about the 7 steps to start a business now. Not what worked 10 years ago for some guru that is selling you a high ticket price course, not what worked when you were at business college and you were writing a business plan. We're not even talking about what's going to work in 2030 because we'll have to rewrite the script for that, won't we? But we're talking about what's working right now if you want to get your side hustle, your business up and running so that you can be a success and create that dream life. So join me in this episode as we break this down into 7 simple, not complex, but simple steps that you can follow. Hi there and welcome. I'm Sue Parker, and today we're talking all about 7 steps to start a business now. I have spent the last 2 years trying to figure out what are the steps that are actually working now, because so many courses and so much information when you Google is all about what has worked for some guru who probably has been going for 10 years or more now. And the world is a different place, isn't it? We've got information overload. There are so many influencers online that started when there were less of them. If you go to Instagram now, how many views does your post get? If you go to Facebook, how many views does your post get? So it's a very different world. So I'm focusing on how to start an online business, but you can have some hybrid elements to this where you do some offline stuff. But here's the thing, it's changed so much because the barrier to entry is so low. I remember when I started my leadership coaching a couple of years ago, I was literally sat with a laptop and a decent internet connection in the corner of my bedroom, going live on Facebook and delivering some coaching sessions. So what I want to do here is break down to the simple level. I don't want to talk about the complexities of building a complete business plan. If you want to go for funding from a bank, you might need to do a business plan, but I want to break down to all the things that you need to do that will kind of inform the next step and help you to figure out, is this profitable? Is this idea going to work at each stage? And then readjust, reiterate, and build your audience and do all those sorts of things. Now, if like me, you started this journey when you had a job and you have commitments, it's really important to build something up that you know is going to work, and also get it to a position where you're happy to quit your 9 to 5 and do this focus piece of work on and jump into being an entrepreneur full time. But if you are sitting on the fence a little bit on this one, I really want to talk about why I believe entrepreneurship is the future way that we're going to be employed, and certainly the future mechanism that's going to work for women, is because I have worked in the corporate sector for a long time. I have done a traditional career. I don't believe that the work-life balance, the flexibility and the freedom that we need to dictate our hours, to determine when we want to be doing certain things in our lives, happens when you're in a restrictive contract. It's the number of hours that you work, it's where you work, it's how many holidays you have that mean you can or can't travel to that destination you've always wanted to. We only have to have a look at the Great Resignation to see how many people are taking that leap. They are either switching to other jobs that they feel are more flexible and giving them more freedom and balance. And some people are finding this is or isn't quite as it seems. But a record number of people are starting new businesses, and that's where I'm in the space to say you can take hold, you can do this. Also, a lot of businesses are now recruiting people on project basis, on consultative and freelance basis. So the future world of work is changing dynamically. They want to dial up and dial down their resources they can, because they don't even know what they want an employee to do these days, but they know when they have a project, they just want to get somebody in to do it. So there's all sorts of opportunities, even in the type of work you do now. And the other thing is, that opportunity to be able to do work you're passionate about. Perhaps if you're in a job, you want to be creative, but your job just requires you to be siloed and do one particular aspect of things. But there's so much more unleashed potential that you can put out there. And that's where an entrepreneurial journey will really allow you to sort of use all of those skills, all of those passions, all of the things that set you alive, and then outsource the stuff that you don't enjoy. Now, step 1 to starting your business has got to be getting clear on that vision, getting clarity on what is your mission, what is your purpose, what do you want to do, what's the life you want to build. Because here's the thing, I know so many people who have set something up and they don't enjoy it. They hate it. They hate it as much as they did their day job. Now, here's the thing, you have gone into a career that you feel railroaded in. You're perhaps reflecting on now and you're thinking, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I expected. Don't jump out of that straight into something else that will make you money but doesn't fulfill you. Have a vision for your life. The last thing you want to do is be working more. The last thing you want to be doing is giving up on the other parts of your life that are incredibly important to you. So get clear on your vision. The second thing that you're going to do in the steps is build a following. Some people refer to the book Build 1,000 Raving Fans. It doesn't have to be 1,000, it's an arbitrary number, but there are some calculations related to that. It's a good number to aim for. 1,000 fans. You build a following by creating content, by listening to people, by offering advice and service. And when you start to build that audience, basically what you're doing is you're building up people that eventually, when you do launch a product, you're going to sell to those people. So you build that following, you learn. This will really help you with getting clarity on that vision as well. So if you're thinking, I have my vision, it's a little bit vague, it's a little bit hazy, by putting out content, there's no better way of getting clarity on your ideas, the people you serve, the people you love to serve, all of that sort of thing. So as well as putting content out there, social media, blogs, podcasting, whatever it is you want to do, YouTube videos, whatever it is, or whatever combination works for you, we could definitely talk about blending some evergreen content with some short-term content like the stuff that goes out on social media. But here's the thing you're going to do is you're going to collect email addresses. So as part of building a following, you're going to collect those email addresses. You're going to have a subscriber form. You're going to have a lead magnet. You're going to get them in and you are going to nurture that group. You're going to send them emails that tell them about the work you're doing now, your latest post, your latest podcast, whatever it is that you're putting out there. And you're going to listen to those people. This is like taking your audience and saying, right, I'm going to take them off these social platforms and I'm going to put them in my own database store of potential customers in the future, people I can build a relationship with. Now, here is a really interesting fact, one that you're probably not going to believe. Why email? You're thinking email is dead. Email is dead because marketers killed it over the last 15 years, didn't they? They literally bombarded people with spam, newsletters, sale, Black Friday sale. It just went crazy with email marketing, didn't it? But the reality is people are really still interested in those personalized emails. We buy from people now. So when you're opening your email, actually, it's the first thing most people do in the morning. So you would think it would be something else like talk to their spouse or maybe review their social media. But actually, the first thing most people do in the morning is go to their email. It's like that direct messaging system into the inbox of the person that you want to talk to. It's like a direct way into their psyche. But first thing in the morning when it really hits, it's really important, isn't it? It's that moment when they're coming out of dream state and they're just like, I'm going to check who's sent me a piece of an email. Oh, yeah, I'm going to read this. And it just sits in the psyche a little bit. So really consider building an email list really early on when you're building your following. Build your email list and really nurture it. Don't ignore them. Don't do what I did with my first business and take months between email newsletters. Really start to build them. Get in, serve. Get into the habit of serving and putting your content and getting clarity. And then the other piece of advice on building your audience I'm going to give you is one from Gary Vee. So Gary Vaynerchuk, as we know, marketing media mogul, has some fantastic advice. And this one you perhaps might not like, but I think it's worth noting because this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you're looking at adverts that promise you can have a business in 30 days, well, you probably going to be disappointed. 30 days, 60 days, you're probably going to plow in a lot of money on ads. You're going to, do all this kind of stuff, or you're going to go through the course and realize, yeah, that person did it, but they actually spent 2 years working on it before the 30 days when they actually did a launch. That's the really interesting thing. So Gary Vee says, be prepared to show up and serve your audience for at least 12 months before you ask anything of them. So if you can think this is a long-term plan, building my audience is nurturing, serving, listening and learning, then you will be on the right track to success. And that's step number 2 is building your audience. Okay, moving on to step number 3. Step number 3 is get your business finances sorted. So business and money come hand in hand. That's why we're doing it. It might be an awkward topic. You might not like it. I know many of us hate the money conversation. But Here's what I know. There are too many business people who set up as a business and then realize they're working for nothing. Let me give you an example of some bakers I know. They make fantastic celebration cakes, but because they didn't do the cost analysis beforehand and work out their sales forecast, they basically were charging an amount for the cake that barely covered the cost of the raw materials, the electricity, and hardly any of their time decorating it. So consequently, they were working for nothing. Now, no one wants to be doing that, and that's certainly not going to help you with the financial freedom, with dictating your hours. They just felt that they were pouring in so many hours, and at the end of it, they'd get like 40 quid in a week as their profit. It was like, 40 quid, is that it? But I've poured in 20 hours onto these cakes this week. So please do some sales forecasting, do some calculations on your costs, and work out how much you need to break even, how much money. So I'm talking about a lot of business terms here, I know, but please try and sit down and work out your costs. I'm going to actually include a link on this video that will give you a little template, so you can start to just put the numbers in and it'll add up some things for you, and then do some sales forecasting to say, how much do I need to sell on a daily, weekly and monthly basis to cover my costs, but then start to make the money, the revenue that I really want, the profit that I really want. Let's break down those terms as well in the next session. So then you're going to move on to step number 4. This is the exciting bit. This is the one that most people just go straight to step number 4. And I know why. I did this. It's the most exciting because you go from like, I have an idea, and then you go to create the product and service that I want to offer, like the package it up, start doing it, building it, creating it. You've probably already started it. So here's the thing. When you're listening to your audience, when you're engaging with them, you're getting the questions, they're coming back with some answers, or you're listening to what content is working with them. And you've also done your analysis of what business, what charges you should have, what charge structure is really going to work, what pricing is really going to work for you. Then you go and create the product or service that your customer are actually asking for, your audience actually want, they're struggling with. That's what you want to start with, because that will be a really easy way to get in to guaranteed buyers from day one. You know, you're launching to an audience who've been asking for this stuff. There's no point going, oh, well, here's this product I made like 6 months ago that was nothing about what you asked, but I decided it was a great product right in the beginning. Or most people just skip out all the previous steps and just sort of go, I have an idea, create a product, try and sell it. It doesn't sell. So here's what I want you to do is do the steps in the right order, and you will really have a clear idea of what kind of product or service is really going to sell. Okay, so moving on, once you've created your product or service, and here's actually a quick tip on that. If you start with a low ticket offer to your audience, you're kind of warming them up. So something that's around £20, for example, it's a really, you have less resistance, don't you? Because not many people are sitting there thinking, oh, £20, is it really worth it? Oh no, this is really valuable. This is the question I've been answering. Let's sell it. And remember, if you're digital products, because we're talking about online, then you can just sell it over and over. So, apart from the initial time you put in, you can just keep over and over. Right, moving on then to the next step, the launch. Oh, this is so important, but so many of us, we put something out there. We might put a course out on Udemy. We might put a course out on Teachable. We might create something on our website. Nobody comes and buys it. Why do they not come and buy it? Because they probably don't even know it's there. I remember I did this in my first leadership program. For some reason, I felt, I don't know, like I couldn't promote it. Like I was putting value out there. I was speaking at events. I was trying to empower women. I was doing all this extra work. But I couldn't feel that I could ask them to spend money. So I just sort of have it there. And if they saw it, great, they'd buy it. But if they didn't, I wouldn't make any sales. Well, it's going to fail because nobody's going to buy it if you don't point it out and then sell all the benefits, tell them what it's going to do for them, then remind them, then ask them again. And if it's high ticket, you might have to ask them a few times. You might have to stick on a timer on it. You might have to make it seem urgent and new. You might have to add bonuses and all sorts of other things. But that's fine. Your launch is the bit where you're kind of going, okay, this is my brilliance. This is what you've been asking for. Now it's here for you. Do you want it? Do you want me to help you to transform, to get to this next step, to create this event, to be able to bake your own cakes, to learn how to play piano, whatever it is you're going to do for them? That's the bit where you've really got to put it out there and you've got to be a go-getter. Right, moving on to the next step is all about, it doesn't stop there, by the way. It's not about, okay, I've sold it and that's the end of that. It's all about serving with excellence. Serving with excellence means I'm not just gonna sell the product and never see the person and not care if they succeed or use it or anything. It's about saying, what is the most important thing I can do for my customer now? Is I can go the extra mile. Now, I want to ask you, in your day job, how many times did you go the extra mile for a customer or a project or for your manager? How many times did you do that? And you just did it because you were like, I'm going the extra mile. I'm going to do that. That feels like me, striving for excellence, me doing the right thing. Maybe it was for a pay rise. Maybe it was for a promotion or to get recognition. Perhaps it was simply because this customer deserved it. They were spending a lot of money with the company and you felt a duty to them to make sure you over deliver. Well, do this for your clients. Do this so that your clients' desires are completely met and they are so elated with the experience of working with you. They're like, I want more. Sue, I want to work with you again. I want to do this again. And sometimes this is about you saying, okay, I can't do that. I need to learn something to be able to do it better for them, and go for it, but still learn it and add to, keep perfecting as you go. You still start at the level you're at and you just keep adding to your excellence. You keep doing your research. If you're teaching them piano and they want to learn a particular piece of music and you're like, I've never played that genre before or that style or whatever it is, I'm just clutching at straws with ideas here. Then go and figure it out. If you're a baker and you show people how to do decorating, cake decorating, and there's a method that you've never used before, go and learn it, come back and teach your audience. Don't think I can't do this. Strive for excellence. Keep learning, keep growing, keep delivering and going the extra mile. Let me talk to you about Jesse Isler. Jesse Isler is Sarah Blakely's husband, for those of you that are Sarah Blakely fans like me. And Jesse he wanted to hire out private jets. He wanted to be in the private jet business. So he would basically get clients and hire them a private jet. I don't know if you schedule it or whatever you do. I'm not really sure how that works. But he would hire them a private jet and he would organize it all for them. Now, he wasn't the only person doing this. There was a big business of people hiring out private jets to people, to celebrities or very wealthy people who needed a private jet, who were in the business for a private jet. And this might be one of your goals in life. But he didn't just go, okay, I'll hire the private jet, you just turn up, you get on the plane and go. He turned up at those flights. He jumped on the aeroplane with the clients, helped them with their luggage, got it all on for them, did a concierge service. Where are you going? Mexico. I have a list of doctors that you might need, dentists, restaurants we recommend, a whole file. He would give them a whole file of things. So there'd be a family traveling to Mexico going, you just thought of everything that might come up on my journey. He'd even sort out, the transport at the other end to get them to their destination. They were so overwhelmed by this concierge service, this going the extra mile, this striving for excellence, that they would just repeat book with him. It was like, and then his reputation was like, hey, you need to use this guy. He sorts this stuff out for you as well as your private jet. So hopefully that's giving you just a few ideas about how you can just go the extra mile when you're delivering your product or service. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do, because you're probably thinking, well, that's it now, this is the end. This is where you rinse and repeat. You review everything that you were given. Did people complete your course to the end? Did they stay on your lives to the end? Did they reach out with questions? Did they struggle with the tech? What were the biggest challenges? What were the frequently asked questions? How can you address those next time? This is where you say all the way through those stages, what worked, what didn't work, and what do I need to refine about my product or service? How can I do excellence and better next time? And each time you do that, you're just getting better and better. You're establishing yourself as an expert in your niche. You're becoming more credible. You're getting better and better, and you're getting more and more confident at this product and service that you deliver. So hopefully that's given you a really good foundation for the 7 steps that you need to follow. And you might be thinking, Sue, I'm still at number 1. This looks like a long road. So here's what the deal is. It is kind of a marathon. It's not a sprint. I talked earlier on about being overnight successes. Those overnight successes will have put in many, many, many months, sometimes years of work before they got to that point. You just don't see it. They just don't sell it to you. You don't see all the graft in the background. But here's what we're doing. We're thinking long term. If you do this now in this next 12-month period, in 5 years' time, where will you be on your goals? Where will you be on this dream lifestyle? Will you be able to ditch the day job and you'll be able to have a solution that means you work exactly when you want to, you earn what you want to, and you get to use your passion and your purpose? And then I'm going to give you a little bonus one here. So a couple of bonuses, in fact. One is productivity and planning. Now, one of the things when you're an entrepreneur is it's really easy to get sideswiped by things. It's easy for life to take over because unlike when you're at work and you have a nagging boss who's looking over and sort of seeing what you're working on, or a director that's chasing you, how you're getting on with that project, unlike that situation where you have an obligation, there is a need, there is somebody asking you for it, you're now going to be asking yourself for these things. Having a planner on your wall, having a battle board, having something in your diary or a Trello board, whatever planners you want to use. And if you want to use some of these electronic tools, let me know, because I definitely have a couple you can try. Then that will really help that you stay on track. And then the second thing I want to talk to you about is mindset, because it's all very well and good taking these steps, going through the motions, but not really believing in your success. And this is where you set yourself back. You basically have your foot on the gas and you have your foot on the brake at the same time. It's a Dr. Shannon Irvine expression there. And she talks a lot about mindset and our psychology and our neuroscience and how we have a brain that basically wants to hold us back. It doesn't want us to step out of our comfort zone and do something that might be dangerous or threatening to us. So it's constantly saying, I have no reference point to you doing this because I don't know if it's going to work. But what you need to do is keep stepping forward, because every time you do, you stretch yourself a little bit further. And what I want you to do is believe so hard that there's no backup plan. There's nothing else happening, because I'm going to succeed in this. If I don't succeed this way, I'll try a different way. I'll follow these steps. And each time I do one of the steps in a particular way, the how doesn't work, I try another how. The what do I do, the how do I do it, you will figure that out. You will keep going through that. How do I build that audience? I'll try this method. I'll try this social media. You'll keep going. You won't give up. Having that success mindset is really pivotal to your success and actually creating this business. Okay, now we've been through a lot, so let's have a quick recap of those 7 steps. Number 1, get clear on your vision, your purpose, your mission, your dream life vision, your business that works for your life. Get clear on that, your idea, and get clarity. And as you keep putting content, which is point number 2, out, that will keep refining. Point number 2, build your audience. Build your audience, collect email addresses, put content out there, build 1,000 raving fans and really engage with them. Listen and learn throughout that process. That's building your audience. Number 3 is then about figuring out your business finances. What are my costs? How much do I need to earn? What are the basics that I need to figure out so that I make sure I'm not working for nothing? Number 4 is you are going to create the product or service that these customers, these followers have been asking for. That's number 4. Create that product or service. The biggest pain point that you can answer, create that one. Number 5 is then the launch. Don't forget to actually do a launch, because people don't know about your product. They can't possibly buy it. If you don't sell it hard enough, maybe you need to try a different launch plan. Maybe you need to adjust your product and your pricing if these things aren't working. Keep reiterating until you get those sales. And then when you've done your launch, it doesn't just end there. You have to serve with excellence. So number 6, serve with excellence. Go the extra mile. Learn stuff if you need to so that you can deliver better for your clients. And then when you've done that, rinse and repeat. You're going to review every bit of feedback, every bit that worked, every bit that didn't work. You're going to refine each of the stages so you can go back around and you can start to engage with your audience. You can figure out what your next business model is going to look like, if you're going to have a new product with a new costing, a new pricing associated, if you're going to create a new product or service, or if you're going to enhance the product or service you've already got and get that right first before you move on. Then do your launch all over again with the new steps, the things that are going to work, and deliver with excellence, and then review it and go back round. There are 7 simple steps, simple but not necessarily easy to do, and they all require a really healthy dose of success mindset, really good self-belief, determination, that necessity, and a lot of productivity and planning, so you've got that self-discipline to really make it happen. If I can help you with any of these specifics in any particular way, all the things I've learned, the things that have helped for me, the things that have not worked so well, the things that are working in 2022, the things that people are telling you worked 10 or 15 years ago but are not working now, or just the tools and the strategies that you can use, then let me know. I would love to hear from you. My email address is hello@sueparker.io and my website is sueparker.io. Take care, folks, and I'll see you again very soon.